I, like many, love superheroes. I grew up reading comics, watching movies and cartoons, yet always felt there was a monumental amount of untapped potential on the video game front. But these days, it feels like we finally cracked the code. Marvel's announced a new Blade game from one of my favourite developers, Arcane, of Dishonored fame. Iron Man's apparently got a game cooking over at EA, not to mention the new Hydra game with Captain America and Black Panther from Amy Hennig. And speaking of Black Panther, isn't he getting a solo... Well, never mind. Insomniac have enough leaked Marvel games to keep us fed until 2040. You guys are still working on all those games that got leaked, right? Forget about Marvel. One of my all-time favourite developers, Monolith, they're cooking up a solo Wonder Woman... Yeah, you know, maybe the future of capeshit gaming ain't as bright as I thought it was, but in spirit of yesteryear, let us take a look back at the history of Marvel and DC in gaming. And let's go ahead and compare and see who's better, because why not? We might as well get the heavy hitters out of the way first and foremost. Insomniac's Spider-Man versus Rocksteady's Batman. What a standard to set for these respective universes. Obviously, I'm a massive Rocksteady fanboy. I adore these Arkham games, and their influence can be felt all throughout those Spider-Man titles, which built nicely upon that foundation with a Spidey twist. But that being said, I gotta give this one to DC. It's still early days for Insomniac Spider-Man, and who knows how we'll feel by the time the final chapter rolls around, but for now, this was an easy point. Almost as easy as things are on the VR front. Did you know there's a now delisted Avengers VR game? That could have provided some much needed leverage, since as things stand, it's Iron Man VR versus Arkham Shadow. Yeah, no brainer. Although the upcoming Deadpool VR game, that does look pretty good. Now, I'm already starting to notice a pattern with these DC games. Like with Lego, we've got Avengers, 2 Marvel superhero titles, all with a wide variety of characters to play as, whereas DC has 3, soon to be 4 Lego Batman games. Granted, you can play as other characters in those games, like Superman, who hasn't had a proper game since 2006, and it was a movie tie-in at that. Marvel has a few of those, but we don't talk about them. Nah, actually, I do like that Hulk game on the 360. Growing up, I used to play that quite a bit. I'll spare Marvel a point, but DC gets the Lego one because Lego Batman 2 is unironically a masterpiece. But back to the Hulk, this guy had another banger on the OG Xbox in Ultimate Destruction. I remember sneaking into my brother's room to play that as a kid, and that wasn't it for OG Xbox capeshit representation. Ultimate Spider-Man, many still consider this to be the best Spider-Man game yet, and that's a bold statement considering the competition. Come to think of it, Spider-Man's actually had a pretty elite catalogue of games throughout the years. Batman can't really say the same. Pre-Arkham, what is it, Batman Begins? Now, we can't forget about the fighters. This is the bread and butter of superhero gaming. Sure, Street Fighter's nice, and I like Mortal Kombat, but get a load of Marvel v Capcom, or Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Okay, I'll keep it a buck. Nobody remembers MK versus DC Universe, but Marvel versus Capcom was all the rage for years, until they, you know, shat the bed with Infinite. Thankfully, the folks over at NetherRealm secured the crown with magnum opus Injustice Gods Among Us. This game was big, it took the world by storm, and honestly, there's no Marvel fighter that could truly compare. No, it can't be. Just as beautiful as the day I lost you. I'ma give it to DC. And speaking of Gods Among Us, ever heard of Gotham City Imposters? Come on. This game was legit, and if you wasn't there, too bad. You can't play this game anymore. Kinda like that X-Men Legends duology, which paved the way for Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, which actually did get a 3rd game, exclusively on Nintendo Switch. But it isn't all about action. Sometimes you just need to pace yourself and deliver a splendid story, kinda like what Telltale's did with their Batman game. Now, Marvel doesn't have an equivalent title, but... oh, hold on. What's this? They made a Guardians game? That's hilarious. Honestly, it might end up being a secret masterpiece, kinda like the other Guardians game. Eidos Montreal and Square Enix. This game is so good. From what I hear, I haven't actually played this game yet. Meanwhile, DC's dropping Gotham Knights. Oh, you don't play as Batman in this one? In all honesty, we all know why Guardians flopped. It's because it followed the disaster that was Marvel's Avengers, a crash course on the dangers of live service, a warning to all who might flirt with the concept. Beware, this model can make or break the best of us. Yeah, live service games are hard to get right. And then there's Marvel Rivals. Wowzers, look at this game. Gorgeous. Look at all these characters. Jeff the Shark is getting more airtime than Superman in these streets. Like, DC doesn't really do live service like that, and it seems like an easy point for Marvel, and then it crosses your mind just how many hours you dumped into the greatest MMORPG ever made. DC Universe Online. What a game. Now, this is how it's done. I've created so many characters on this time sink. That CGI trailer alone would have earned this point. And as I'm looking at this collection of DC video games, it's finally dawning on me. I only have one game left left from DC to discuss, and that's Superman 64, arguably the worst superhero game ever made, and that's it. A couple crappy Superman games, a cancelled Wonder Woman 1, and about 12 Batman titles. I didn't even get to touch on Midnight Suns, the tactical Firaxis card game where you can romance Blade, and it features Ghost Rider too. And speaking of card games, what about Marvel's Snap, one of the most addictive mobile games I've ever played? Or even the cult classic X-Men Origins Wolverine game, the Deadpool game. Marvel's got a Shredder's Revenge coded beat 'em up on the horizon right now. All DC has to offer is what they've always had to offer: more Batman. The point I'm trying to make is, even if DC might deliver a better overall experience bang for bang, the sheer variety and diversity amongst Marvel video games catalogue is much more enticing and exciting, whether you're looking back or ahead. I really hope we can start seeing more risks in the kinds of games both companies give us, but especially DC, who have relied on Batman for far too long. Make a Wonder Woman game, give us Superman, Flash, Aquaman, Lanterns, Titans. It doesn't even have to be AAA, I'll take Pixels at this point. Static Shock, Blue Beetle. As a Batman fan, I am well fed on all fronts, but as a DC fan, I want so much more. So Marvel versus DC, I guess the real winner is me.